Welcome to the Arizona Wildcat Show, brought to you by Fry's Food Stores. I'm Star Sports editor Ryan Finley, here with our buddy Michael Lev. How you doing?
I'm doing well, Ryan.
Excellent.
How are you?
Good. We both sort of shaved for this a little bit.
I didn't. No.
How dare you? You're going to be on TV.
I wanted to be like you, basically.
Nobody wants to be like me. Let's start there. Let's talk about U of A baseball. The Wildcats are coming off, I think, a disappointing weekend series against Arizona State. They lost 2 out of 3. Now they head to Oregon for the final conference series of the season. Then they play 5 non-conference games to finish it out. We may know by the end of the weekend whether this team is really good, pretty good, or just okay.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. You can take the end of season games for what they're worth. Abilene Christian is not very good. Hawaii, they're good at home. They're not really that great overall. But what really matters, I think, is this weekend series against Oregon. Pac-12, highly competitive conference. Maybe doesn't have the top-end teams that we've become accustomed to in the recent past, but a lot of parity, a lot of depth. I mean, there's not much separating, the 9th place team from the 1st place team. So every series is tough. And Arizona has to win at least one game out in Eugene. Obviously, winning more than that would be preferable. But if they can win one game out of 3, minimally, then you're talking about a 16-14 record in the Pac-12. You're talking about a team that has a top 25 RPI, top 25 strength of schedule, a team that's right around 500 on the road. When you look at the whole season, that's an impressive resume.
You know, I did a little research. Maybe that surprised you. I did research. 17 wins almost always gets you in conference play, regardless of your RPI, regardless of who you are, who you've played, who you have. 17 wins is usually the magic number. That would require them taking 2 out of 3 this weekend, correct?
It would, yes.
Yeah. 2 out of 3 against an Oregon team that is down compared to past years. Even in kind of a wide open Pac-12, they're not as in the conversation as Arizona is. I mean, if they can take 2 out of 3, they're in. If they can sweep, could they host?
I think hosting is still within the realm of possibilities.
Right.
I think taking 2 out of 3 from Oregon is definitely within the realm of possibilities. I mean, as you mentioned, Oregon isn't as good as they've been maybe in years past. They're right around 500 in the Pac-12. I mean, you're talking about an Arizona team that went to Cal and swept them, that swept Oregon State here. They are definitely capable of doing that. They didn't play their best baseball against Arizona State, but I feel like maybe getting away from town, getting away from the rivalry, they'll play a little looser. I think they were a little tight at times, especially at the plate against ASU. And the other thing about hosting a regional is you look across the country, what teams are ranked high, et cetera, et cetera. There aren't that many West Coast teams. No. And ESPN is going to want some West Coast teams to kind of balance out the TV schedule. I know those things aren't supposed to be factors, but you and I know they usually are.
Absolutely. And if you look, again, in front of Arizona in the Pac-12 standings, I mean, you have Utah, who does not have the RPI, I don't think,
not at all,
to get them particularly high. Also plays at a AAA baseball park that who knows will be available if they wanted to host. You look at Washington, correct, and that's a haul for anybody. I mean, Arizona is, compared to those two schools, centrally located, has a ballpark built for it, has done the hosting thing before. To me, I think the committee will probably want Arizona to host if Arizona's resume is close enough.
Right. You know, what's interesting, too, is, we were talking to Jay Johnson earlier today in his office, and he actually spends a lot of time examining the RPI situation and figuring out, how to maximize that. But he doesn't talk about it at all with the players. Right. Because he's very much on message with them, very much just like the next pitch, the next game, the next inning, the next whatever, focus on today. But he is aware of all that stuff. He kind of rejiggered the schedule when he got here to make the Hawaii games road games, because road games, winning road games enhances your RPI and also enabled them to have a couple of extra games.
It enables them to go to Hawaii.
And enables them to go to Hawaii. He did mention that today. He's like, I don't know how the season's going to turn out, but however it turns out, we get to go to Hawaii at the end. Right. So that's nice.
That is nice. That is nice. Arizona Wildcats hoping for a few more nice moments this weekend when they take on Oregon in hopefully not rainy Eugene. Should be an interesting series.
Indeed. I got one question for you real quick. Yeah. The uniforms that Arizona State wore on Sunday.
Loved them.
The yellow. You
loved
them.
Okay.
Loved them. All right.
It was the ketchup versus mustard game. I don't care. They were both good.
All right. Ryan is sort of the authority figure on uniforms
Yes.
in baseball and on other sports, really, so I had to ask him.
Next year, we'll have a spin-off show called Ryan Yells at You About Your Uniforms. It'll be fun. That'll do it for this episode of the Arizona Wildcat Show, brought to you by Fry's Food Stores. For Michael Lev, I'm Ryan Finley. We'll see you next time.
Try this matchup. Low prices and faster checkout. You can count on it at Fry's.